Hello and welcome to a new video, not a short video this time. Please like and subscribe still, and I really try my best with English, and it's funny. I still hope you enjoy it. And now I will try to learn a bit British accent. Yeah, I already searched for this. How to learn a British accent, fast, modern, British pronunciation secrets. Learn British accent. Okay, I will take a look in the second video and let's see. Yeah, let's have some fun.
Today we are learning some secret tips to help you achieve a British accent.
Please also tell me if you are from Great Britain or you know British accent, whether or whether not this person here also spoke British accent. I guess he do. He speaks British accent, but yeah, I wouldn't be able to say this, but let's see.
Hello everybody and welcome to another ETJ English British pronunciation lesson. And as I mentioned just now, we're going to be learning some secret tips, some tips which will help you sound more British. Now when I say British, I do have to say this because I get people from places like Scotland and up in the north of the UK and various other areas complaining, saying that I'm teaching only one British accent. This is the accent I teach, and it's my accent. It's a modified RP, modern RP British accent. So if that's the accent you want, then my videos are for you. If you want a Scottish accent, go and find a Scottish YouTuber, okay? So just a disclaimer there for those of you sensitive people. So these secrets, what are they? Well, these are things which I think are very, very important to the British accent. Things which you need to do if you really want people to think suddenly, oh, they sound a bit British. So that's what we're aiming.
I mean, my girlfriend said to me that I sound British. I sound like I would have a British accent, and other people told me I have an American accent. I would more believe this. I mean, I believe my girlfriend, of course, but because I used to watch many, and also still watch many American or United States American, to be precisely, YouTubers, and they of course probably speak American or US American English. So I would guess more that I would have an US American accent, but I take it as a compliment when my girlfriend says to me I have a British accent. But now let's see. And you, people who watched me maybe also longer, or people who watched some other videos from me, I got recently some decent amount of more subscribers through some shorts I have made. But yeah, tell me whether or not I sound more American or British. I would like to sound more British. Yeah. Let's continue. Let's hear the secret tips
for today, and these kind of few tips should help you with that. Now there are many different secrets and tips I could give you, but these are just a few. If you want to learn all of the tips and all of the ways of sounding British, you'll need a full-length course, and that's why I have a British English course available, a pronunciation course at etjenglish.com. The link's in the description below. But just for these few kind of free tips, I hope you find them useful, and I really hope they help you with achieving your goals. So let's get started. The first thing I need to tell you, in fact, is to think about words. For example, if you're speaking with a British accent, or you're trying to speak with a British accent, but you say a word like trash instead of rubbish, then you're going to still sound American. You're going to sound like a British.
I mean, it's nothing. Most people do this, or many people do this. You know, say he also wrote USA, but he said American, and it's just so. The majority of people who live on the American continent, whether south or north, I think the majority of them speak Spanish or Brazilian, Portuguese, and not English. I think it's a majority, at least 50%. And so to say American and then just referring to the United States it's common, and many people do it, but and I do it sometimes. I don't take myself out of this pool of people. I think always, and I try to correct myself always when I think about this, or you know. Yeah, let's continue.
British person who is struggling with vocabulary and using American vocabulary.
I think I'm not sure. Elevator and it's also. I mean, I'm not sure whether it's English or the British, English or British, the British or U.S. American term, and one is elevator, and the other thing is lift, and I'm not sure which country has what word. We will probably maybe mention this.
So try to avoid American words, okay? Try to use the British form. So as I said, instead of saying trash, say rubbish. And of course you can find various other words which are similar, where we have a British version and Americans have their own version. Maybe I'll make a video about that in the future. Now another really important secret I have for you is don't forget your T's. The letter T.
The TH, yes. I think I am not bad in the TH, but let's maybe he will also mention some words.
The T sound. Firstly, let's check that you can pronounce it. Let's say a word like two. Two. Now, in the beginning, if you find it difficult, you might find that you're spitting the sound out quite a lot. Two. But we need to learn to relax it to sound a bit more natural. Now remember that the tongue rises to the top of the mouth.
Two.
And we create some pressure and we release it. Make sure it's nice and relaxed. Don't do a big because you might blind someone with your spit, and we don't really want any kind of germs going in other people's faces. So just try and gently produce that sound. Two. Now the T is extremely important to British English. Make sure you're pronouncing your T's between vowels. Whoa, this is really important. Let's take a word like city.
City. I mean, maybe he will also mention now how other countries speak it out, maybe the United States American, and in what regard it is different to the British version. City.
Okay, city. So city, the T is surrounded by two vowels, right? So you have the T and then you have two vowels. Now the important thing here is that you don't pronounce it as a D, which is what Americans do. They would say city.
City. Yeah, I have when he mentioned this, it does make sense that, I mean, I have heard the term city, New York City. I mean, the D, it's more like a D really in American English, United States American English. I guess I understand why people often say just American, because to always say US American, it is longer and takes more time, of course, but yes, it just annoys me a bit. Maybe it's just something how I feel, but yeah. Okay, city.
British English, city.
City.
So make sure you can pronounce
pity. But would Americans and US Americans I get annoyed also through always saying US American. I'm not sure it. But would they then say also pity and not pity? I guess they would.
Those T's firstly, and then make sure that between two vowels you're pronouncing that T. Now there are situations where we can use a glottal T. I could say, for example, I live in a city. This is what we call the glottal T. Now
I have heard of the glottal T or other glottal letters, I think, also before, but I have to this day not really completely understood what they are. But some kind of pause sign where you stop producing a sound or so, and then I don't know, like a pause sign. That's the best way I can describe it. But maybe he will also explain this. I would be grateful if he would.
People think that they can just remove the T and that's a glottal T, but it's not. Okay, or it's not. The glottal T is actually a sound but it's not a sound at the same time. Si-e. What we're doing is we're creating some tension in our throat, and we're cutting off the sound before the T. So, si-e, si-e. Imagine you have a long and then you want to cut the sound out. You have to do it with the tightness in your throat. Si-e, si-e, si-e. So
Si-e, 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 si-e. I'm not sure. I mean, I understand how it functions, and I understand also how it is. I think I understand how it is created, but to produce it myself, I'm still struggling a bit. But he explained it to me in a way that I understood it.
that's how we do the glottal T. It's tightening the throat, really tensing it, and cutting a sound out to replace the T. It's very advanced and it's very difficult, and lots of students say to me, Elliot, I can do the glottal T. I say, okay, send me a recording. They send me a recording and it's not right. So it is really, really advanced and it's really difficult. In my suggestion for now, if you don't feel like you're a very advanced British English speaker, start by pronouncing your T's, and then eventually, if you want to, you can start using the glottal T and learning about it, because it's a whole new sound. It's not just a technique, it's almost like a sound. So just a few other words. Americans would say whatever.
But is then the T in the English language always a glottal T, or not just in some situations? I'm not sure. I can't read this, this language, this written language, of course, the written language, this where pronunciation is explained, and you can read it, and then you know how to pronounce the things. I'm not sure how it is called in English. This in German it is die Lautschrift, and I'm not sure how it is for English speaking people, how it is called. So I can't read this, but yeah. Do you always use glottal T in all words where a T is in the word or not?
Whatever, and we would say whatever, whatever, or again, whatever, whatever with the glottal T. So what?
Okay, so whatever, not whatever. Whatever is then probably US American, and whatever, whatever, whatever. I'm not sure. Please don't laugh too much about my glottal T and my pronunciation. I give my best at least. Yeah, let's see.
Whatever or whatever would be the British version. Water, we would say water. An American would say water, water. We say water.
Dude. Maybe, yeah. I mean, I'm not. Of course, I cannot know off the top of my head remember a situation in which an US American YouTuber said the word water, but I wasn't sure that they say water. Maybe they do, or at least some do. For me, it would be a definitive water. So in this regard, I would be definitive and British. Be British. I'm not sure if I would say rubbish. I would say probably trash, but yeah. Let's continue.
Or water. Now the difference here is of course the T, but also the vowel sound, and I'm going to talk about vowels a bit later on. Water. But it also happens between words. You heard me then, I just said but it. But it also happens between words. Now an American would say but it also, but it also. We say but it also. We have to pronounce that T, or we drop it with a glottal sound. But it, but it, but it, but it. Those are the British way. American, but it. They use.
So you can say both with a glottal T between but and it, or you can just say but it. But of course, if you speak very fast, you at a certain point you will forget certain vowels or sounds and make it. I mean, naturally, you start to speak more. The words are more connected, and yeah. I mean, it happens naturally if you speak very fast and don't concentrate. I think that you make this, as a British person, makes this glottal T's to combine the words kind of, so you can pronounce them easier from but it. I think it's to always say but it, and also speak out and pronounce every part of the word as you would pronounce it if it would be just alone for itself, and you would just say the word but or the word it. But in combination, I think if you speak faster, you combine them somehow. I'm not sure. Let's continue.
Use a D. So when we have a T which is between two vowels, whether it's in a word or it's between two words, we pronounce it as a T, or we can use a glottal T. Americans, they use a D to join it. Now, as well as the T's, the R is also very, very important.
You also said this, you can either use a glottal T, or what was this?
We pronounce it as a T, or we can use a glottal.
But it, yeah. So either you speak slowly and pronounce both words precisely, or you use the glottal T to, as a British person, to combine the words, kind of to make it easier to speak them out in a fast way. And the US American use a D to combine the words. He also said this, to combine the words.
T. Americans, they use a D to join it. Now, as well as the T's, the R is also very, very important. Sound, right? Like in red. So let's just check that you can pronounce it. Lift your tongue to the top of your mouth.
Okay, I will try it. Red. Rubbish. Don't laugh too much. I do my best.
In kind of the bend of your mouth, feel your tip of your tongue reaching up there.
Rubbish.
Look at my lips. Red. Now, if you're having trouble pronouncing that, you probably need a teacher to directly help you with that. And as I said, my course is available if you need some help with the R. But the thing that I need you to know is that, and I've taught this in one of my most popular videos, the R is sometimes replaced by vowels. Okay, so for example, course. We don't say course, we say course. Now the reason why...
It looks a bit French, but I'm not sure. I mean, also French looks a bit British or English, I'm not sure. But yeah.
And I've told you this before, we only pronounce the letter R, when there is a vowel sound after it. That's it. So if you see a word and it has an R and followed by a consonant sound, then you know it will be replaced by a vowel. So that vowel could be could, like for example, work. It could be or, for example, course. It could be the R sound, for example, party. We're not pronouncing the R. And there are lots of vowels which replace the letter R. So you need to know all of the British vowels to understand when they replace the letter R. But just remember, we only pronounce the R, when there is a vowel sound after it. Easy, so they say. The next important part of British English, an important secret you need to know, is the schwa sound. The schwa sound is about 30 to 40% of British pronunciation. It's everywhere. Everywhere. It's in words like teacher, potato, about, adventure.
This this kind of writing system where you write down how it is pronounced. In German it is called Lautschrift. I'm not sure how it is called in English, but teacher. About, so this
Adventure. To can be pronounced as t. And if you didn't realise by now, the sound is And it's a very easy sound to produce. I've taught you this in lessons before, just very quickly so you know. Mouth is relaxed, tongue is relaxed in the middle of the mouth. So there are
funny moment where I paused. About teacher.
Lots of complex kind of reasons for when and why we use the schwa sound, but you need to know about the schwa sound if you want to sound British. It's so important to British English. For example, as I said before, an American might say teacher, we say teacher. Whenever a word finishes with we pronounce it with okay? And that also goes for the spelling of OR, for example, doctor. So you need to learn a lot about the schwa sound.
Doctor. About teacher. I haven't heard a big difference between when he said this is how United States Americans speak out teacher and this is how British people speak out teacher. But I will try.
About how it appears in words, not just replacing but it happens in lots of other situations. I'd be here all day if I had to explain it for you, and that's why there is a whole chapter in my course about the schwa sound. It's that important. I guess just a few kind of important mentions I need to give you. Diphthongs, if you don't know what they are, you need to learn about them. Sounds like
Diphthongs are also in German, I think, very common. I think we have a few. Like, I think it's also and I and ie, like the German word for song, a lied, Lied. Yeah, I think that these are diphthongs, but I'm not mistaken.
Ear, air, ow. You need to learn those because they will make you sound really British. Again, they are kind of sounds which replace the letter R. So make sure you know your diphthongs and you've started learning them, but learn your vowels before.
Also, for example, AU in German, AU, auch. Like auch, also, in English.
Or you learn your diphthongs. A sound which is really important, as well as the schwa sound, to sounding extremely British, in a word like hot, not pot. So an American would say hot, we say hot. This very round shape with the mouth where we lift the tongue in the mouth, it creates such a British sound, you know. For
hot, pot,
example, it's hot today, right? An American would say it's hot today, but we say it's hot today. And this kind of sound really does create a British sense about you. So make sure that you get this sound right and you're not doing the kind of open mouth sound. You're doing more of the round shape, and
hot, hot, hot. I hope I don't sound too stupid.
pushing your lips out. So as I said, there are hundreds and hundreds of secrets and tips I could give you about the British accent. These are just a few I wanted to give you today because I think they're quite easy to understand, and they're things which you can start looking at and studying right now and training yourself to do. When we get to more complicated things like stress and intonation, I mean, that's when things get a bit more confusing, and that's when you really need direct contact with a teacher. So if you do need my personal help and you want to learn more secrets and more ways of sounding more British, you can become my student and talk with me with voice messaging on WhatsApp whenever you want, or WeChat. You just have to join my course at etjenglish.com. Remember, you can also use my podcast for listening practice if you need some listening practice. But thank you very much, guys. Please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Take care. I will see you soon. And cheers, guys. Bye.
I liked and subscribed. Do the same please for my own video. And if you want me to react to more British accent or other people's accent, as Australians, New Zealand, US Americans, or other countries which speak also English or have a majority of their population speaking English, like Pakistan, the Philippines, Indonesia, Nigeria, or many other countries I probably forgot, but I think the Philippines don't speak English so much, but definitely have Pakistan, India also, and Nigeria, I think. But yeah, if you want to me, or if you have other suggestions what I should react next to, just write it down in the comments. I'm very grateful for the subscribers I got through the shorts I published recently from Minecraft. I will do so again. I have some more ideas maybe, but yeah. Also write down some ideas for Minecraft also if you have them. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, subscribe for his channel. I will have a link to his channel in the description or to the video, and subscribe to my own channel. Follow me on Twitch if you are interested in talking with me or have some fun with me directly, and on Twitter if you want also. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Let's see. See you again soon.